when you saw those white comics on that level, did you say to yourself, he sucked a dick to get there? Or did he wear a dress to get there? Like, where does that
What is that? What is that theory?
Where does that stigma come from?
I'm asking you. You brought that up twice.
Oh, yeah, because that's the stigma. Like, the stigma is for black comics, you got to wear a dress to get to a certain level. Or,
Who did that?
Shit. According to Cat Williams, about 20 people.
Well, dude, Milton Berle. Milton Berle made a whole career that comes from vaudeville.
Robin Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, he played Mrs. Doubtfire. Tom Hanks was on Bosom Buddies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was just like, it was kind of the, we don't have a good idea. Let's put a guy in a dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it was. But I understand, that's just one of those white things where I don't have to look at it like, oh, they're doing this because they're trying to belittle me because they don't see me as human. I don't have to deal with all the stuff you guys got to deal with. So, I don't know if it's how much of that's true, how much of it's paranoia. I mean, I can't speak on that. I have no idea. But I don't.
You never wore a dress.
Yeah, and that whole sucking a dick thing, it's like
or just being gay in Hollywood.
You just sort of you did.
I said you never wore a dress. He said, "Nah, not that or that whole sucking a dick thing. That's just
Right.
it's not my."
No, it's more like you create a show, you go in, you pitch it to these people.
Mm-hmm.
They somehow take control of it. You lose the creative by credit. They make all the money. You don't. That's the way it usually works. It's not like you want a TV show, huh? All right. Crawl under my desk. And you better do it good because I got another 40 guys waiting to suck this dick. It's like, that's just... I think a lot of people want it to be that way.
Yeah.
Because it just makes them feel better about their lives and where the fuck they're at. But it's just like, like most of Hollywood is overworked, underpaid people not getting credit for some shit that they created. And it happens to everybody. It happens at different levels. And you have to learn how to protect yourself. And nobody teaches you. You just go in there taking punches, and then you go, and that's usually how you learn, unless there's a comic that kind of takes you under his wing or something and teaches you, like, look out for this. They're going to try to do that. Damon Wayans was great at that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, word. I've heard that before.
He was great at that. Like, he barely knew me. And he, and he said, "Hey, I saw you on TV. You were funny, man. We were standing out in front of the cellar." He goes, "What do you got going on?" And he just stood there. Damon Wayans. I couldn't believe it. He just stood there. And for like 20 minutes, and he's going, all right. This is what they're going to try to do. And he just, I was going like, oh my God. I know I just did this business was so ruthless, but I never forgot that. And that was something that I learned. It's like, all right, so if I get somewhere, like my job's to tell the younger kids, how they're going to try to come in. That's how they fuck you.
Yeah.
They don't care about, they can get a hooker anytime they want or whatever the hell they want. They're trying to take your ideas and get the money. They got all kinds of stuff. They have like, you remember back in the day, there was like points on a show, how many points you had.
Yeah.
And they had literally invented points that didn't mean shit. So you got 40 points. I only got 30, but mine means something. Yours don't mean anything. It's the whole thing is, like, here's one for you. It's way harder to prove somebody stole from you than defamation of character. Figure that one out. So that basically protects the thief. So when somebody steals from you, I can't then go around town and say, this guy stole from me, stay away from him, blah, blah. If that gets back to him, he can sue me, and he can just come up with the phony cost report. Well, this mouse was $30,000, and this was $15,000, and whittle down what he stole, and they get away with it.
Wow.
I've had that experience.
Will it ever be fair? Will there ever be...
No, because human beings are completely flawed, and it's God's fault, because that's how he makes us.
Damn.
So you need to stop going on Sunday praising him. You need constructive criticism.
Stop, man.
Jesus Christ.
No, I just don't let people freak out when you start making fun of God.
Make us uncomfortable. All right, Bill Burr, thank you for joining us.
I'm down to hear you. I'm down to hear it out.
All right, no, it's just an astoundingly not even dumb, just not having empathy, which is the first level of intelligence. Is if you can't take yourself out of yourself and look at somebody else, see their situation, and hear it, that there's just a level of life and living life you're not going to get past.
That's real.
You're just not going to get past. And also, they got to stop naming stuff deliberately confusing, like white privilege. Every white person I knew was like, I didn't grow up rich. That's how we took that shit. I don't know why. I don't know who names the shit, but like I didn't know what it meant. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I grew up in a duplex with fucking squirrels in the So,
What would you call it?
what would I call white privilege? No, I would. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Being white? I don't know. I'm not good at this. Like coming up with band names and shit like that. But like I didn't love like it meant how you like move through the earth, through the world, right? So one of the things I've been kind of having fun with in the red states is talking about the Klan and how there's all this stuff you can't do anymore, but you can still join that group. But I go, that's a great example of white privilege. That you can you can still join a terrorist organization as a white person, and it's protected under this freedom of speech. And they start saying, well, you know, I don't want to do the whole bit because I want to flesh this thing out for but that's but they sit there and then that's one of the most fun things about doing stand-up is going to a place like that and doing some stuff like that and getting them to hear it and then going to LA and kind of doing like the same thing because they think people in Hollywood think that you just put a BLM sign in the window and that means you know you're like a saint, and it's like you haven't done anything. What you basically did was appeased your sense of responsibility. What are you talking about? I put a sign in the window. I'm on the right side of history. Or my favorite one was white people marching in BLM marches, filming themselves for Instagram. Like, look what a great person I am. So it's just like I don't know. Human beings are interesting.
Is there comedy to be found in this year's election?
I mean, the joke I've been doing, like this election is like, you know when Hollywood makes a shitty movie? You're like, man, that movie sucked. And then 2 years later, there's like a sequel. And you're like, they're making another one of these?
Yeah.
That's how I look at this.